And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the Colorado Rockies episode. So, yes, we will be talking about the Colorado Rockies Mount Rushmore, one of the more recent franchises in MLB history. So, like other teams like the Marlins and the Rays and the Diamondbacks, they don't have a ton of history, but they do have some Hall of Famers. So, we can talk Rockies here for a little while.
And the Rockies in the state are probably bigger than their Mount Rushmore.
Well, yeah, I would say so. That being said, at least currently there's only four of us here. We don't know what happened to Drew. We're hoping he's still alive. He's not like in a ditch somewhere. I don't know what's going on here. He said he would be here. Now he's not. But hopefully he shows up at some point. But let's get started. Uncle Doug, who is your number 4 member of your Rockies Mount Rushmore?
My number 4 is Troy Tulowitzki.
That's who I went with.
Oh, yes, my number 4 too.
I did not have Tulowitzki, although I did consider him quite heavily.
Yeah. He snuck in there at 4 for me. He's got 299 batting average with the Rockies, 188 home runs, 637 RBIs, and 1,160 hits. 5-time All-Star, 2 Gold Gloves, 2 Silver Sluggers. Went through a stretch there where he was pretty solid, and trying to see how many times like he led the league. So his highest MVP finish was 5th, and he did that 3 different times. So
how many had Troy?
I think you, me, and Uncle Doug.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 3.
I guess we'll find out about Drew.
Yeah, whenever his white ass gets
Right.
here.
Good old rascal gets here. Yeah, I pretty much had all the same information, Uncle Doug, and I think the only other thing I had listed was he hit more than 20 home runs 6 times as a Rocky. So for a shortstop, it's pretty good power numbers for a little while. Did he fall off really hard when he went to Toronto? How bad was it? I didn't actually look at his Toronto numbers.
His numbers in Toronto are... Oh, I just scrolled down too far. Sorry. His numbers in Toronto is he at 250. Damn it. 250 with 36 home runs, 122 RBIs. He didn't steal any bases. He had 224 hits in 3 years.
Yeah, okay.
well, it looked like he played part of a year, 41 games, and then 131, and then the third year was like 66 games.
Yeah.
So, like you say, the batting average 239 for that partial year, 250, and then 249. The home runs dropped. 24 the one year, and then 7 the next.
I'm guessing his body just broke down.
I guess. I don't know. I remember him signing with ended up. I don't think he signed there. I think he got traded there to Toronto, and everybody making it to be like, "Oh, this is a huge pickup, Toronto. They're gonna win the AL East," and then he just never performed there. And then he went to 1 year with the Yankees, but he barely played.
Because didn't they get him and like another guy to like Edwin Encarnacion or something, or some other big slugger that was supposed to carry him, and the other guy ended up doing really well, and then Troy flopped. I think
It might have been
something like that.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that people would point at to make the case where Rockies are good because they play
At altitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, does anybody else have anything on too low before we move on?
Nope.
All right. Well, I guess I'm the only one with a 4 left. So my 4 is Charlie Blackmon.
I thought about Troy Blackmon.
Yeah, I looked at him.
He's actually still a Colorado Rocky, so he could potentially, be adding to his numbers as we speak. I don't know if they're literally playing as we speak, but you know what I mean. He's a 4-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger. He won a batting title. He's a center fielder, by the way. I don't think I said that. He has a very interesting look with his caveman look with his huge beard and his long hair, a la Wade.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He he also has a top 5 MVP finish in 2017, where he did win the batting title that year and led the league in triples, hits, and runs. He also led the league in runs the following year, which is crazy to think that he led the league in runs twice in a row. I don't know who the hell bats behind him to knock him in. But he's been, I mean, he's getting pretty old at this point, but he was pretty consistent there for a little while. He had some years there where he was going to hit you 20 to 30 home runs and drive in some runs, steal some bases, hit for a good average. So, yeah, I just ended up going with Blackman over Tulo more than anything because of longevity and putting up, more counting stats, I guess. That's what I decided on.
Well, good job, Alex.
Well, thank you, Ray. I appreciate it.
Yep, just giving you more support later when we make these deals.
By the way, his nickname is Chuck Nasty. Never heard that before, but
I like
that's
it.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Chuck Nasty. We can get Chuck Nasty shirts next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck Nasty with them Chuck steaks.
All right, well, I guess that's everybody's number 4, unless Drew shows up at some point.
We'll backtrack when it shows up.
Yeah.
So, Wade, do you have a number 3 for us, sir?
Yeah. I went with Nolan Arenado.
I
That's
also
also my
picked
number
him.
3.
He's also mine.
Oh, hey.
When I think of the Rockies, I think of 3 guys. Nolan Arenado was one of those guys for me anyway. He spent his first 8 seasons there. Batted .293 with .349 on base and a 541 slug. 235 home runs, 760 RBIs, 262 doubles, 27 triples. In his prime, though, in his prime seasons, he was a badass. He led the National League in homers 3 times, RBIs twice, total bases twice. Sorry, I lost my place. Total bases twice and doubles once, while being an all-star 5 times in Colorado and winning 4 silver sluggers. Yeah. Come on in, Drew. And Drew decided to show the podcast.
Oh, man.
Talking about your boy, Drew.
Which one?
Arenado.
Arenado.
Jump on.
Get on in.
And
Who was your number 4?
Troy.
Okay.
Troy's okay.
Troy.
So that's 4.
Yeah, Troy's 4. Nolan's my 3. And Blackman's number 5 for me.
Okay, so irrelevant and Blackman for you.
Drew, you want to help me out and talk about how good Nolan Arenado is at defense?
Well, he's been the greatest third baseman of my generation. He's won basically every Gold Glove up until last year. He didn't lose one until
Really?
last year in his whole career.
Was it 10 in a row? Was that how
Yeah,
many it
I think he
was?
won 10 in a row, yeah. I think,
And like what, 5?
I think he has 5
platinum gloves?
platinum gloves, yeah.
Yeah, he has 5 or 6.
Um,
Some articles.
And he can hit too. I think he's led the
He has
league in
6.
home runs,
it was like
3 times, I would say.
It was
3 times, yeah.
RBIs twice, total bases twice, and doubles once.
He's he finished 3rd in the MVP, I think, the 1 year in Colorado. I
Mhm.
mean, Colorado doesn't have postseason success, obviously, ever. I don't know if we've talked about that. They made one.
I don't even know if they made the postseason with him, did they?
No, they've only made 3 appearances, I think, ever in their franchise history. They've never won a division title. They've made the wild card 3 times, and they've only won 2 series, and then they got swept. And
I'll say I
World
know they
Series.
made the World Series in 2007 because the Red Sox played them, and we did in fact sweep them.
yeah, that's what I thought. The
Yeah.
Red Sox went on a little sweeping fest there for a while during the mid 2000s. I always forget about the Rockies one. I know they've won 4 or 5 since they broke the score.
04, 07, 13, and 18.
4, yeah, that's 4. I knew they won. I always forget about the 07 one. That's the one I forget about. the
Was
most.
Matt Holliday on those old Rocky teams?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Because they talk
was there.
Matt Holliday when they had the anniversary for like their 2007 run. Matt Holliday couldn't make it, but like he at least I think he made like a video or something. Troy didn't. Whenever Troy got traded, he disowned the Rockies.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he doesn't like. They said he doesn't like. He hasn't said much. He didn't show up. He didn't tell anybody. He wasn't coming for the reunion. He just didn't show up at all.
Interesting.
So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
But I think they've only ever won 2 playoff series ever. in their career, and that was in '07. And after that, they've only ever made it 3 times. So,
It's pathetic and yet unsurprising.
well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, they came in '93, right? Wasn't it '93 the Rockies came in?
I'm not sure what year. I'm not
They
sure
came. They came in with what? The Marlins.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
I think anyway, it was late
Yeah,
'90s as well.
Yeah, it was
They
Marlins,
joined
I
the
think.
division with the Dodgers, the Giants. Well, the Diamondbacks are later. And then who else? Oh, the Padres, which at that time, the Padres were kind of a dominant team. During those mid-'90s, they had some battles with the Braves in the West. Then the Diamondbacks won a World Series when one of their first years in existence. And then the Dodgers and the Giants have been these juggernauts for like 20 years now. I feel like one of the two is either really good. I mean, you had the Giants win 3 World Series, and then the Dodgers are good during the regular season. So, I mean, they take all the division titles, but as we all know, they don't do anything in the postseason.
You were correct, Drew. Their first season was 1993.
Okay.
But in the trying to find this, I ran across this article from Baseball Prospectus that says even though they've been in the league for 30 years, the Rockies still are an expansion team.
I mean, they've just never had success ever. I mean, was that '07 run? I mean, I was kind of too young to think about it. Was that just like kind of a spoof thing? I mean, obviously they made the wild card, so
I mean, I don't know if it was a spoof, but it was a surprise.
who did they play? Like, I'm gonna look it up. Who they?
Nobody expected the Rockies to be in the World Series. I don't know. Did somebody just like
Let me see who they
fall off or have a big injury or something? Because that would have been right in the middle of like Houston and the Cardinals.
No
and-
way. They swept their way to the World Series. They 3-0'd the Phillies and they 4-0'd the Diamondbacks.
Huh.
What?
The Diamondbacks, really?
And the NLCS was the Diamondbacks and the Rockies.
I'm sure that made baseball super
I was
happy.
like, what was going
Yeah.
on in '07?
Who would have been on the Diamondbacks at that point? Because like
I
Luis
got you.
Gonzalez guys have been gone.
Diamondbacks, they had Chris Snyder, Connor Jackson, Orlando Hudson, Stephen Drew, Mark Reynolds, Eric Burns, Chris Young, Carlos Quintana,
Quintero.
Justin Upton was there.
So they had some guys, but nothing like.
Pitchers were Brandon Webb, Levin Hernandez,
Webb was good.
Doug Davis, Micah Owings, were Edgar Gonzalez, Randy Johnson, 43-year-old Randy Johnson's still on this team.
Probably still killing bitches.
Let me see. He only played 10 games. I don't care about Randy's batting average. Tell me what his pitching stats are.
What was his batting average?
Let me 1 second. His batting average was 0.67.
Hey,
Nice.
at least got 1 or 2 hits.
His on base percentage was 125 and OPS of .192. Oh man.
Didn't Brandon Webb have a couple All-Star seasons for at least a short period of time?
I believe
He won 18 wins and a 3 ERA that year.
I believe he holds a bunch of Diamondbacks pitching records.
Okay. Yeah.
He's got a Cy Young. He
Did win a Cy Young.
He was only in the league for 7 years. That's
Yes, he did. I do believe he got hurt and couldn't overcome it.
his ERA's 2.8, 3.5, 3.5, 3.1, 3.0, 3.3, 13.5. And he's out of the league. That's wild.
Good run though there for.
That's
the
what I'm
West.
saying. 2 and then just 3 the rest of his career. I mean,
It's pretty damn good, really. Pretty consistent.
that's wild.
All right. Well, does anybody have anything to add on Arenado before we move on?
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, we all had them, so we have a unanimous.
Yeah.
All right, Drew. We haven't been to you yet. Who's your number 2?
Larry Walker.
It's also my number 2.
He's my number 1.
My number 2.
He's my number 2.
Alex, you're just a smidge bit off base with this all episode.
Yeah.
Is he the one who had Blackman?
Yeah.
I thought about
Which
it.
was the correct pick. I mean, let's be honest.
Okay. I thought about it. I was like, no, Troy's just. We'll talk about it later.
So
I'll tell you
everybody had Walker or
Troy's just a
4 had
rascal,
Walker?
Drew.
We all had Walker.
Oh, I know.
what. Can I blame Alex for ruining the perfect week?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
No, I
Alex's
made the
fault.
good-
No.
You all-
No.
The perfect.
No, Alex
I
ruined
didn't
it. No. Larry played 10 years in Colorado. He had 1,300 hits, 300 doubles, 45 triples, 250 home runs. He had 800 RBIs. He batted 330 while he was there. He had an OPS over 10 for 10 years in Colorado. I mean,
His slash line's nice.
I mean,
Very nice.
He's a Hall of Famer.
yeah. No, you can't really say much for that Rockies.
Got an MVP, 7
He's
Gold Gloves.
I think he's the only Rockies that have an MVP, isn't he?
I think so.
I think yeah,
He's got 3 batting titles.
yeah.
I think a lot of his stuff is with the Rockies. I think it says here
Yeah.
he made it 4 All-Star games with them. He won 3 batting titles with them.
He won
5 of his Gold Gloves
yeah,
were
5
there.
Gold Gloves,
2
yeah.
Silver Sluggers, and his MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I mean-
a good portion of his accolades, ain't it?
Yeah, he only won 2 Gold Gloves. 2 Gold Gloves and a Silver Slugger.
That with the
Oh,
Expos.
with the Expos, and that's it. I didn't realize he came to St. Louis for 2 years.
Yeah, he was
forgot
on
he
one
was
of your
from
World
this.
Series teams.
Yeah, he was in here in 04. Like he got traded mid-season. Interesting. But no, yeah, I mean, with these kind of accolades and stuff for a franchise like this, I just like he's in the upper echelon, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You could say for the Rockies. I mean,
I mean, his slash line is really nice. Like those are really, really nice numbers.
that's what I'm saying. Having an OPS of over 10 for a 10-year span, really anywhere, is
Yeah.
kind of.
That on
I mean-
base percentage and batting average are both very, very nice.
Yeah, his slash line would be an MVP season for a lot of players.
Yeah.
Like his overall slash
Oh,
line,
yeah.
not like one season.
Oh, that's an
Yeah.
MVP season. 330, 420, 618, and then 1044.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's an MVP. That's better than some of the
Yeah.
MVP years we've talked about.
Yes,
like,
it is.
And he spent a fucking decade there, not like 2 years.
yeah, I would say
Yeah.
it's not like he did that in a
Yeah.
2-year stint.
Yeah. I mean, you could easily have him, like I had him at number 2 just because I thought him and my number 1 were very similarly impressive, and the other guy was just there longer.
Eh,
I had him at 1, but yeah, I could flip flop Helton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I-
I
direction.
didn't
was
think
like-
it was a big deal either way, to be
no,
honest.
I just put the other guy at 1 because he was there longer, and I feel like the fans
Yeah.
liked him better than they did Walker. But that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. They're pretty even.
All right, well. Old Larry Walker. I used to like Walker a lot. When I
So
was-
is he really 6'2", 185? Because I feel like
Walker was kind of chunky.
that's what I thought.
He was probably that size as a rookie
Yeah.
with the Expos.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Slowly-
I hate looking at this. I'm like, that's as big as I am, and I'm like, these guys look way bigger than me.
Yeah. He was never like fat, but he was always kind of bigger.
Kind of like
Stocky.
kind of like Luca. He was just kind of. He wasn't fat, but he was just. I don't
Dad
know.
bod.
Yeah.
A little, yeah.
He's got a dad.
Like he had a good big frame. You could
Yeah.
tell he's strong,
Well,
but
playing first base, you can get away.
he just got a little
Nah, he's
floppy. Yeah.
Well, he did play a little bit.
Little
further.
bit.
He was
He-
mainly
right.
a right fielder.
Yeah, right field. Yeah.
He
Um,
probably had the occasional 12-pack after a game.
I mean,
Maybe some Coors Light. You know.
Yeah,
I mean,
Coors Light.
playing the Coors field.
after the 6th straight year of finishing 5th in the NL West, you need to crack open a 12-pack after a couple
Yeah,
games.
By the way, his nickname on here is Booger.
Booger.
And by the way, Charlie Blackmon's name
Oh,
was what was it now?
Funky Chuck or something.
Oh, Chuck Nasty.
Chuck
Yeah.
Nasty.
Nasty.
Nasty with a Z.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Nasty.
If it ain't with a Z, you ain't nasty enough.
Nah.
All right, Ray. I haven't been to you yet. Who's your number 1?
Todd Helton.
And
Yep.
He's my number 1.
Me
yeah.
too.
Me too.
He's my number 2, but he's on there.
All right. We got 3 unanimous. That's pretty nice.
He's a Hall of Famer, 5-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove, 4-time Silver Slugger. He also has a batting title. He just got in the Hall of Fame just this year.
I'm glad I got in.
17 seasons, all in Colorado. He owns a whole bunch of franchise records. And he batted 316, 414, 539 for a 953 slash line in his 17 years, which again is very good.
So yeah, that's also an impressive slash line.
He hit 369 home runs, 1,400 RBIs.
Just under 600 doubles.
Yeah. Oh, he did lead the league in hits one year, led the league in doubles, led the league in RBIs, batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, and OPS. He did all that one year. He led the league in on base percentage another year later in his career. He had a really, really nice peak there where he was going to hit he had a couple seasons back to back where he hit 40 home runs at 140 some RBIs, where he hit, way over 300. His power numbers were never quite that after those 2 seasons, but he had like a 10 or 12 year span there where he was going to hit 25 to 32 or 3 home runs and bat well over 300, and he was a very quality player.
He was very good.
So that make the Rockies have 2 Hall of Famers in?
2 Hall of Famers in their
Who
franchise.
did Walker go in with a Rockies cap?
I believe so, didn't he?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I mean, I would assume so. That's where he won his MVP and most of his stuff.
It was
at.
his longest stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be my
Yeah,
guess.
he won his MVP there.
I know,
Yeah.
obviously, it's not the Cardinals, but I don't know if he did pick the Expos or.
So you get to pick?
Yeah, if whoever you play for, you get to pick what team you go in as. You pick your cap or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Who did we talk about a couple weeks ago?
We talked about somebody being the first Expo to go in. Who was it?
Oh, yeah, it was on
we
the
talked
National.
about this.
Tim Raines or something.
No.
Gary Carter.
I don't remember who it was, but I remember we were like, "There's no way he was the first one." I mean, yeah, he was.
Was it Vlad?
It
It was Vlad with the Angels.
Yeah, because
Vlad went in with an Angels cap because even though he
Yeah.
spent more time
Oh,
with
that's
the
right.
Expos,
Yeah.
he went in. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 'cause we were arguing whether he was the first Angel to go into the Hall of Fame. Now I'm looking into the 2007. I don't want to say how close the Rockies were to winning the division. They played one more game than the Diamondbacks did.
Like they played 163.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks played 162.
So that 163. The one time we played
a
163 is they have to play a tiebreaker game. It's happened a couple of times in the
Oh.
2000s, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it. I mean, I guess it was 2000 one of those happened.
I thought that was weird to me because they both have 90 wins, but the Rockies have one more loss.
So here's this team.
Crazy.
This is the team that made the World Series. Okay, Jorvit Torrealba is their catcher. Todd Helton, Kazu Matsui is second base. Tulo's at short. Garrett Atkins, you remember Garrett Atkins, don't you, Wade? He's a big, lumbering third baseman. Matt Holliday in left. Willie Tavares in center, and Brad Hopp in right field.
there's like 3 All-Stars on that team.
Yeah.
And then a couple other okay players that who you know who they are.
What's the pitching staff?
The pitching staff. Jeff Francis, he was their ace for quite a while out there.
He was solid.
Yeah, he was a guy that could actually pitch in Coors. Because there was there for a while until they started using the humidor. There were certain pitches that didn't break at altitude.
Right. Yeah.
So if you brought in a guy with like a wicked slider, his pitch wouldn't break. So it didn't do you any good.
That would suck so bad.
That would.
Ubaldo Jimenez was there.
He had like a little minute
Yeah, I
there where
remember
he was
that.
good.
Josh Fogg, Aaron Cook, Jason Hirsch, Taylor Buchholz, Rodrigo Lopez, Franklin Morales. I don't know.
I remember the first 2 you said, and then didn't Jimenez have like one crazy year there, or did he get paid from them because he had a crazy year somewhere else?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Let's see.
I probably am thinking of the right guy.
This year he went 4-4 with a 4.28 ERA. Well, not a single person in their rotation had below a 4. Even Francis had a 4.22.
Damn.
But he went,
Jeez.
but he went 17-9, so their offense was obviously scoring runs.
Maybe just in
Oh.
Coors, it was just I don't know. I had in my head that Jimenez had like one really good year randomly. Then he went and got paid somewhere and sucked. But I can't remember if Colorado paid him
He has an All-Star game on his.
or if he had the 1 year with them and left. I can't remember.
He has a year in Colorado where he went 19-8 with a 2.88 ERA,
Yeah.
but his career ERA is 4.34. So
Yeah.
I mean, the year following that, he had a 4.68. So I mean, it was just that 1 year there. Really, he came in third in the Cy Young that year. All right, well, that being said, we have 3 unanimous, and one difference here. Me having Charlie Blackman and everybody else being wrong.
No, Alex, you're in the perfect week. You got to put the ego aside like Don Beebe, Alex.
Don Beebe.
It's okay. Make the right play.
Think so, huh? Think so.
Come to Troy. TT.
We can settle it with the only stat that can settle our debates.
War. Okay.
I thought you were going to say the boards.
Oh, I mean, I don't care.
I mean, who gives a shit? It's the Rockies.
That's also
Does anyone know a Rockies fan?
No,
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever met.
That's what I was about to say. I don't know if I've ever met a Rockies fan.
Didn't we have one of those like Rockies pennant things that hung up in our room, Alex?
Yeah, I have it at home.
Okay, I'll just say I had that stuck in my.
I don't know if you would remember this, Uncle Doug, but when Wade and I were little, before Leah was born, we had both the rooms back there,
right?
and we had like our bedroom was the big bedroom, and the small one was a basketball court. That's all we used it for, was a basketball court, and one whole wall we had all the baseball teams' pennants hung up on that wall. It was like one would be down, one would be up, so they fit into each other like teeth almost. Yeah, and we had like all those, and then we also had like the Blues and the Mighty Ducks and like some random ones from other sports. But yeah,
we even had sports lockers.
we did. Yeah,
But we had the Steelers and the Yankees.
yes.
Those are our lockers. It wasn't anything that you'd think we'd have.
And then Leah came around and took your guys.
Yeah, Leah ruined all of
Leah
it.
ruined everything.
Took your
All
locker.
the fun out the window. God damn it.
And speaking of the Mighty Ducks, I'm not a hockey fan, but have y'all seen their new logo for the new season?
They changed it. They're changing it.
They changed it back to the Mighty Duck logo, kinda, and they went to like a orange color. It looks kind of good.
They've just been that like gray, gold, silver.
Yeah, it's
D
no
for a
longer
while.
that
It's
stupid
not
D.
that.
Yeah,
It's
they were
not the
just
D
the
anymore.
Ducks. They weren't the Mighty Ducks.
No, yeah, they're now just the Anaheim Ducks. Let's see.
But now they look way better.
Yeah, Ducks logo. Oh, they've switched back to the...
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I always thought, I just liked it.
Is it that way?
Yeah, something like that. But
Yeah.
the uniforms look the way they got the uniforms look really good.
Is it that one?
Yeah, like the orange. Is it orange?
Yeah, they're kind of going back to like a white. Okay. Yeah, I thought that much better. They screwed up the Utah team. That was just dumb. The Utah Hockey Club. Are you kidding me?
It's like
Well,
something
how do you-
soccer would do.
That's what I'm saying. It had terrible names for them. They should have just kept them the Coyotes. The Utah Coyotes.
Well, I feel like they fucked up the whole thing by, I feel like they just kind of rushed it out there and
Yeah.
it
I
just
mean,
didn't work out.
do I think a hockey team in Utah is better than Arizona? Yes. Should they have taken more time in naming the name? Yeah.
Well,
They did such a good
the Utah
job.
Hockey Club isn't permanent.
Yeah, it's
They're
just for
doing
now.
it for a year to buy them time to come up with a real name. But some of the name choices I saw were not.
It was like
great.
the Yetis and
The Yetis?
yeah,
Yeah.
all the finalists were terrible. I was like, I would not want. The NHL did such a good job with their expansion teams. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Seattle Krakens. It was
Yeah,
perfect.
The Kraken with a hell of a name.
And like the logos and S, like the red eye, the dotted. So
Yeah.
it's perfect. It's literally
It is. The
perfect.
Kraken is cool.
They did good with those, but
But Utah had a minor league hockey team. I think it was the Grizzlies.
yeah,
And they had really cool jerseys because Phil had one.
Oh,
He used to go to Grizzlies games and he'd go out and visit his cousin Brian.
that's what I'm saying. They could. I mean, the Coyote would have fit for another year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Coyotes are all over. That would have fit.
Yeah, that
That's what I'm saying. If they had it in Phoenix, I
Just
mean,
redo the logo,
yeah.
but keep the name.
Are they still red and gray and white or what? I don't know what they're new. I don't know if they changed colors or not with the move. I don't know. It's gonna get used to seeing Utah. But... So Alex.
So, I was just doing some research. I was just doing some research. And it appears to me that I don't know where you're coming from.
What do you mean?
I mean,
My boy TT's got everything.
TT.
It's not my fault it's not my fault he got traded to Toronto.
his career's over.
At least someone wanted him. No one wants to trade for Blackman.
Let's have a chat.
It's gonna be an interesting argument.
Let me see the award.
So he has more hits.
Dude, I thought you were about to put your head on his lap.
He has a higher batting average, and then
TT hit more home runs, and he has 1,200 less plate appearances.
well, he did, but that's only probably for like another month or two because
Another month or two.
they're only 6 apart.
If he doesn't get it by the end of the year,
And they're
though,
only two,
Blackman's
and they're only
contract
2
runs out.
RBIs apart.
Oh man.
So by the end of this, he'll have more hits, more home runs, more RBIs, more stolen bases, and a higher batting average.
yeah, and like 1,500 more tries.
That is true. That is true.
Which, because I'm say, if you go by Wade's WAR,
Oh no.
Tulo wins.
It's double.
Yeah, it's like
Explain
44 to 20.
that one to me. Explain that one to me.
Because he's better. His WAR is double, and he's been there less time. Come on, Alex.
It's 44 to 20.
Yeah,
Explain that
I
to me.
didn't
Can
expect
anybody
that.
make sense of that? Seriously, I'm not even mad that he. Like, if it had been 22 to 20, I'd have been like, oh, okay, but 44 to 20.
It's
So
a
if
Rockies
you can make
thing.
sense of WAR, then we can have a
and
different
one of
conversation.
one of them's a center fielder and one of them's a shortstop, so they both get extra points for their
Right,
defense.
yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
it's not like one
Do people at
staying.
Coors get docked for playing at Coors?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah, is that part of
That's
the
probably the
equation?
formula for
It
the
probably is. They're
Rockies.
probably like, you know what? We're gonna dock the Colorado guys. just a
Divide by
little bit
3 when it's the Rockies players. They don't know what they're doing. They're just putting in random numbers. Divide by the Rockies player. Divide by 3. The Red Sox playing the Rockies this week. And don't forget the 3 guys.
Yeah, they're in Colorado.
Drew's in a mood tonight. Man. No, in all reality, I don't care. We can put Tulowitzki on there. By the way, the Tulowitzki picture on baseball
Reference?
reference. Thank
looks
you, Ray.
bad.
No problem.
He looks like he's like 17 years old. He has a bunch of acne on his face. Like they couldn't have picked a better picture for this guy.
Dude, some of these people's pictures are bad.
All right, so
Oh.
Should probably tell Drusa what we're doing with MVP.
Oh, what are we doing?
1968.
1968.
I was gonna say I had a year.
Well, it's too late.
That's okay. I came
You
prepared
showed, up,
though.
you showed up late and unprepared.
You're just mad I took your guy off the list with my divide by 3 method.
Well, yeah.
Divided by
Um,
3 method.
So that being said, that'll wrap up our. Oh wait, I gotta go. Just so everybody's on the same page, our
Son of a
4
bitch, I was about to
Rockies
delete
for
it.
the Mount Rushmore.
TT's at 1, or TT's at 4, and then you can go.
Yeah, it's Troy Tulowitzki, Nolan Arenado, I said Todd Walker.
A Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yes, Walker, Texas Ranger. Yes,
Yep.
yes. Wow.
Larry Walker.
Larry Walker and Todd Helton. Thank you.
We are
No problem. I'm here to help you out, Alex.
We are,
I can't. Yeah.
we are struggling.
Well, nobody else will help me. Everybody just stares at me and laughs.
I'm getting a neck workout.
Yeah,
every
help the
time I
man
look at
out.
the
He's
board
struggling over here. It's like
I
I don't
said Todd
even know what's
Walker
going on.
over here.
Todd Walker.
Yeah. I mean, same sport. Anyway, that being said, that will end our Mount Rushmore portion of this episode and send us into MVP talk. And this MVP discussion will be on 1968,
Wow.
which has a very rare MVP discussion for us to have. In the AL, the winner is Denny McLain, ace pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, who led the league with 31 wins, 6 losses, with a 1.96 ERA, which was not the winner of the ERA title. In 41 games, he threw 336 innings and struck out 280 batters.
Wow.
Yeah, his 1.96 was not even number 2.
Yeah.
There was a 1.95, which was Dave McNally, and Louis Tiant had a 1.60.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pitchers were dominating.
Well, aren't we about to get a rule change?
Yes. Yes, we are.
This is probably why.
Well, I mean, yeah, right, we'll get there.
NL's the same way.
So Denny McLain, who I do believe Uncle Doug said off air, they made the World Series this year.
Right. World Series that year was Tigers and Cardinals.
Okay.
So the two MVPs face each other in the World Series.
Yeah, I just watched.
Who won?
Tigers. Tigers won in '68.
By the way, the guy that came in second place in the MVP voting is also a Tiger, but his numbers are not impressive. He batted .263 with 25 home runs and 84 RBIs.
Ooh.
What?
The guy below him, Ken Harrelson, whoever the hell that is, plays for the Red Sox, by the way,
you don't know.
batted .275 with 35 home runs and led the league with 109 RBIs. That's a much better season.
Well, Tigers won 100.
Drop down to number 9.
Tigers won 103 games.
Number 9 is Yaz, who led the league in 5 categories.
Yeah.
He batted 3-0. Oh, yeah, this is the season because he won the batting title at 301. I talk about that all the time. 301, 426, 495 for a 922 OPS. Led the league in almost all of those. He also led the league in walks at 119. He had 23 home runs, 74 RBIs, stole 13 bags, scored 90 runs at 162 hits. Yeah.
They only won 86 games compared to 103 by the Tigers.
Gotcha.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
They were 4th in the American League, so they didn't make the playoffs.
Frank Howard, a guy we've talked about in a past episode, led the league in home runs with 44 and 106 RBIs, batted .274, led the league in slugging percentage at .552.
Ooh. They only won 65 games. 10th in the American League. Oh, gosh.
This,
Weird year.
yeah, very weird year. Some guy named Bert Campaneris from Oakland.
Bert Campaneris.
Yeah, he led the league in steals that year with 62. He also led the league in hits with 177. He hit 4 home runs and had 38 RBIs.
The A's only won 82 games and lost 80, and they tied. I'm loving these ties in baseball.
What
Back
did
in the day.
Cleveland do?
Cleveland? Let me find out. Cleveland. Cleveland won 86 games
Where are all the wins?
in Detroit.
What about Baltimore?
Baltimore. They won 91. That's who the Tigers would have played in postseason, I think. Yeah, they're second in the American League.
Well, from what I'm seeing here, it kind of looks like this is the battle of the pitchers. As not a super impressive hitter. I mean, Yaz had a pretty good year, and a couple other guys had decent years, but we had 3 pitchers with an ERA in the ones.
Pretty nasty.
They all won. The lowest win total for games was 21. So 21, 22, and 31.
Yeah, I think 31 is just crazy.
Um,
Started 41 games. You're like, wow.
it's like a fourth of the season.
Yeah, that's a fourth
His
of the
ERA is
season.
only .3 higher, and he pitched, and he started 6 more games for the one guy and 7 more than the other. So I mean, you can't really hold that. Yeah, he pitched the most innings out of the 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, by a lot. He pitched 60 more innings than they did. 60 more
and,
than
and his ERA is
McNally.
still right there. So
And he had 280 strikeouts, but that doesn't lead the league.
Yeah, I don't see the league leader.
the leader's not
either.
on here.
He wasn't one of the top.
I will give the one guy from the Indians though. He must have been a strikeout king because he had 264 and he pitched 80 less innings.
Oh,
The
that
Tigers
Louis
got
Tiant?
So, who's the strikeout leader for 68? How do
I mean, they all had nice strikeout numbers, but none of them had, like, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. Louis Tiant had kind of elite strikeout numbers. The other 2 didn't. They were just nice. By the way, Denny McClain also gave up the most amount of home runs in the league that year.
Another Cleveland pitcher, McDowell, had 283 strikeouts. So the Tigers guy is only 3 strikeouts behind the leader.
How many innings did that guy pitch?
1 second. 68. First innings pitched in 269.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. More strikeouts than innings pitched.
No wonder the Tigers won the World Series.
That was an Indians pitcher.
Oh, that was the Indians. Okay, I just said it was another Tiger.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
There's 7 Tigers in the top 27 of MVP. There's 7 Tigers on here.
Can you imagine being the 2 guys on the roster that getting good votes? Like you get teased in the clubhouse, you didn't get MVP votes. That'd be funny.
Well, gentlemen, what do you want to do?
Who's the guy that was leading 5 different categories?
Yaz.
Okay.
Well, should we go to the boards?
Sure.
Yeet.
I don't think I have a marker. Oh, they're right there. I was just looking right past them.
Alex, are you gonna be okay?
I don't know. I don't know, man. So a yes would mean that Denny McClain keeps his MVP, and a no would mean you want it to be somebody else. And please write who that somebody else is. And I am ready, by the way.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
Drew, you good?
I'm good.
Yeah, my marker's not working, but I can just tell you.
Well, we have a whole
Yes.
cup of different ones.
Yes.
I got yes.
Think I can make it in the
Yes.
trash can, Ray?
I said yes.
Oh,
Oh.
Ray changed up to yes. All right, fair enough.
Got it cracked open if you want to throw it in there. Close.
The lid wouldn't have been on.
Blocked.
Looks
No,
like
no,
somebody
no,
needs to
no.
go back to the gym.
Back to the gym.
All right, well, that will move us to the National
Good shot.
League, where Bob Gibson won MVP. So that means 2 pitchers won MVP. I don't know. I can't name another time this ever happened. I'm sure maybe it has, but I don't know about it.
I can't think of anything.
Gibson went 22-9 with a 1.12 ERA and 34 starts. He threw 304 innings and struck out 268 batters. He led the league in ERA and strikeouts. He did not lead the league in wins. That was Juan Marichal, who had 26 wins with a 2.43 ERA and 325 innings and struck out 218. So he also had a very nice year.
Oh, Bob.
That was very nice. but
Oh, Bob.
That ERA is hard to get past.
It is. Pete Rose came in second in the MVP voting, and he batted .335, .391, .470 for an .861 OPS. He had 10 home runs, 49 RBIs, led the league in hits and batting average and on-base percentage. Willie McCovey, a San Francisco Giant, led the league in home runs and RBIs with 36 and 105. Led the league in slugging percentage with 545 and OPS with a 923. I don't know what the records were for any of these teams, but as Uncle Doug mentioned earlier, the Cardinals won or made the World Series.
Yeah.
Kurt Flood, and also another Cardinal, came in 4th in the MVP voting.
I think there are 6 Cardinals in the top 20.
There you go. Yeah, Lou Brock, Mike Shannon, Nelson Bryles, Dale Maxville, whoever the hell those last 2 guys are.
Dal Maxwell, I remember. The Nelson Bryles, I really don't.
Johnny Bench is on here. Willie Mays is on here.
Sounds like the usual guys from this time period.
Ernie Banks is on here. Hank Aaron's on here.
The usual suspects. But I'm going with, oh, Bob. Dad.
Yeah, 1.1.
Dad. Oh, Bob.
Yeah.
Have any of you seen the movie Tag?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Remember when they're sitting there and the girl shows up and Bob goes and talks to her and they're like, oh, Bob. Remember when you set the swing set together? Oh, Bob. Oh, Chili.
I'm not gonna lie, I really like that movie. Probably more than I should have. Oh wait, I scrolled down more. Ron Santos on here.
Your boy. Run.
Oh, man.
He led the league in walks.
What a
Go
guy.
Kepi.
Good old Scrubs.
Well, guys, is there even any sense to using the boards?
I already wrote on it, so I'll show you what I said. Yes.
I just have yes and no on each side. So.
All right. Well,
That
Bob
works.
Gibson can keep his MVP,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then we're gonna have a rule change here coming up that guys are gonna start hitting the ball again.
Indeed.
That's wild.
All right. Well, we appreciate you tuning in for this Colorado Rockies episode, and we would appreciate you tuning in next week for our San Diego Padres episode. Yes.
Padres.
That was the Giants.
No, that was last week, you fool.
That was last week.
Oh.
Now, will you keep up?
Yeah.
You're late all the
Sorry.
time.
I'm sorry.
You can't keep up on the episodes. Come on, bro.
I haven't been here in a hot minute. I did have a rough. It's been long. DG's been taking it out of me here lately.
What, the bubble guts?
All right. Back to the whale's vagina. Our San Diego Padres episode. And we would appreciate you helping us out with any rates, reviews, sending us some emails, commenting. And thank you for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.